triangle and they have given this angle as theta. This side going to become opposite. This is adjacent and this one will be hypotenuse. Let's find out the different ratios of them. Here if it becomes 1, this is also 1, this becomes root 2. Let's find out different angles. Sine of 0 degree, sine of 0 degree which remains as 0, and sine of 30 degree which becomes half, sine of 45 degree which becomes equal to this one 1 by root 2, sine of 60 degree will be equal to root 3 by 2, sine of 90 degree will be equal to 1. In the same way you can do problems involving the cos. Here cos of 0 will give rise to cos of 0 degree will be 1, cos of 30 degree will be opposite to that root 3 by 2, cos of 45 degree will be 1 by root 2, and cos 60 degree will be equal to half, and cos 90 degree will be equal to 0. Let's find out different values in the tan. Here you can find it out. Tan of 0 will be equal to 0 itself. Tan of 30 degree will be equal to this one 1 by root 3, and tan of 45 degree will be equal to 1. Tan of 60 degree will be equal to root 3, and tan of 90 degree going to be equal to this one as infinity. Now let's find out different ratios in cosecant angle. You can find it out. Cosecant of 0 degree will be equal to inverse of that sine of 0, so it is not becomes 2, and cosecant of 45 degree will become inverse of this one, that is sine 45, that will become 1 by root 2 becomes root 2, and cosecant 60 degree will be equal to this one, this flips out upside down, root 3 by 2 becomes 2 by root 3. Now another one time, this cosecant 90 degree will be equal to cosecant 90 degree will be equal to this, also flips upside down, it remains as 1. Let's find out even different ratios. That ratios will be here secant ratios. Secant of 0 degree will become inverse of 1, 1 inverse of 1 also remains 1, and secant of 30 degree it will be equal to this one, secant of 30 degree will be secant of 30 will be root 3 by 2 becomes 2 by root 3. Now secant of 45 degree will be equal to this one 1 by root 2, it will flips upside down, that becomes root 2. Secant of 60 degree which going to become half, it becomes upside down, it becomes 2, and secant of 90 degree which will be equal to this flips upside down, so 0 comes below, and it going to become 0 comes below, so it becomes not defined. When any number divided by 0 it is not defined. Now let's find out values of cot. Cot 0 means it is inverse of this one. Tan 0 is 0. So even cot of 0, here it goes from 90 to 0. So this is going to become cot of 0 is infinity. Now this one, that is cot of 30 degree. Cot of 30 degree will be root 3. So cot of 30 will be root 3. Tan of 60. and cot of 45 degree going to become this one, tan of 45 itself, that is 1, and cot of 60 degree will be equal to tan of 30 degree, so it remains as 1 by root 3, and cot 90 degree will be equal to 1, will be equal to 0. Bye.